Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chesswise. Today we are at the next topic, that is understanding the world champion. We have got yet another game by a world champion. Let us see how the game goes. It's a fierce attacking game and we will see some distinct qualities of Mikhail Tal used in this game. It will be not easy to understand who is the world champion. So let's see what happens after the opening. D4, D5, it's a pure queen's gambit declined, and C3 and F6 with G5 and D7. White attacked the knight on F6 and he was threatening to take on D5. Black supported F6 and now BF6 and F6, then D5 will be supported. So this is the first trap, small one, so called the Laskar trap, also some people call it the elephant trap. So after C takes D5, E takes D5, if white goes knight D5, seems like a win of pawn, but it's a loss of piece, because after knight takes D5, bishop D8, there comes BB4 check, forcing QD2, and after the trade of bishop for queen, black takes KD8, and you see that the knight on D5 is the extra piece that black got. So black is winning here, just piece for a pawn. So white either goes NF3 or E3, so renews the threat. Now after takes QD8, BB4 check, there will be KE2 finally. So black defends with C6, NF3, and the move Queen A5, very popular during the Kasparov-Karpov match, even recently played by Magnus Carlsen, the move Queen A5, so called the Kemri Springs variation. That's an interesting choice here. Black went B7, normal standard queen's gambit. White goes CD5, BD3 is another line. Idea is after ED2 play BD3 without wasting a tempo with DC4. Black generally takes CD5. Here black went ND5 and now C takes, queen takes, then there is E4. So knight takes and now BD3, C5 trying to break the center, but it's a bit early. White castles. CD, ED can give a typical IQP attacking position, which is our recently going topic. You can check my videos on IQP, castle, and white to play. This is a very important moment of the game. What would you do as white? White tries to use the idea bishop h7 here, but see what happens. It's like a Greek gift position, but without a pawn on e5, and the Greek gift sack doesn't work when bishop h7, kh7, ng5, kg8, queen h5. There is the move nf6. nf6 defends h7, attacks the queen, and black is winning over there. So most of the time with a impending nf6 or bishop f5, the idea doesn't work. So first d takes c5, and now see, knight c5 can allow bh7, we'll come to that. If queen a5, trying to win the pawn next move by force, then there is the stunning qb1. The point is that knight takes c5 just allows b4, and see, even the pawn on h7 is attacked. So knight f6, b4, and white is just a pawn. It would be a winning position. So black goes knight c5. How do you continue as white? As I said, white is looking for some Greek gift type of ideas, but there is no pawn on e5. So things are not that forced. The sacrifice which we see is like an intuitive sacrifice. Typical commonness in games of Mikhail Tal and Capablanca. So the similarity between the style of Mikhail Tal and Capablanca is that both are intuitive in nature, and they need not rely on exact calculation all the time. Of course, they calculate deep, but it is more relying on the intuitive thing rather than exact checkmate all the time. So here white goes with C, bh7, kh7, and g5. There are 2 points here. First, see, if king g8, then white wins after qh5, but not in a standard manner. Rook e8, queen check, kh8. Here the standard technique, qh5, kg8, queen h7, kf8, queen h8 allows ng8. So white has to use some other idea. White can go see rook d1. Well, see, if the queen moves, e8 hangs, and after bd7, he can either use rook d4 to transfer the rook, or he can just try to go ne6. So first play b5, drive away the knight on c5, and ne6, white wins after bd7. So this is winning for white. So black goes kg6, and now typical standard method qg4. White threatens ne6 check and m8 soon. So black has to choose between f5 and e5. So let's look at e5. After e5, there is the very strong ne6 check blocking the bishop, king f6, and the very strong f4. Now b6 allows fe5, ke5, queen f4 mate. So see, just e4 trying to keep the file closed, but then see queen check, ke6, again queen e5 check, strong move, kd7, rook d1, everything is forced, knight d3, knight takes c4, d3 knight hangs, so kc6 forced, and now see the stunning rook d3, rook c1. A forced mate follows after kb6, qc7, ka6. Try to calculate it's a mate in 4 from here. Knight check, king here, pawn check, king here, knight d3, and then next move will be mate, kb3, then qc4. And if king takes a4, that line is perhaps mate in 5. Black plays f5, the only other chance, and now see qg3. This is a typical technique. Now the knights discovered attack is there, check is there, but see there was f4 here. f4 was one of the best options. Even the move kf6 was interesting, but kf6 wins for white. After f4, ef, knight f5, qg4, there is knight h6. The game looks like drawish one, because if the queen moves to g3, then again an f5. But of course, I think white can try with the move queen h4 when an f5 allows qh7. So that is a very much playable position for white, of course. There is no forced draw inside. And after king f6, there comes the strong move rook d1 first, bd7, and now the strong move b4, first driving the knight away and then go e4. So now the threat is e5 check and then knight e6. This is perhaps winning for white. Black went kh6. This is a good defense actually, and black later got some chance also. Very accurate play is demanded from black though. So now comes the queen h4 check, kg6, and white again pursues and forces things with qh7 check. See, these kind of tactics are very important one. Maybe black missed this line, that is a possibility. So see, king g5 allows qg7 check, kh5, and here the strong move ne2. This is outright winning. Threat is nf4 followed by g3 and qg3. So forced to go e5, and after ng3, kh4, qh6, kg4, there is a forced mate with f3, h3 or queen h5. All the three are checkmates. So I think perhaps black missed the move qh7, or it could be possible that he was thinking that still there is a defensive hope. In fact, there is, as we see in the game. So e4, good move. Now the idea is to go e5, because rook h8 will be met by e5, ke5, both nf7 and qg7. So black goes in g6, e takes f5, white opens the whole center, e takes f5, rook d1, nd3, this is black's best hope, qh3, the knight is attacked, white is ready to trade g5 for d3, which would give him a winning position. Now comes c, knight df4 played in the game, but knight gf4 is the right way. This would have given very good chance of close to equality, but I feel practically this is very hard for black, because see, after rook h8 here nh7 was threat, and now see, we want to move the knight, but ne2 is there, so maybe some idea related to re1, but ne1, rook d8, that has to be seen. That's a very interesting position. Then queen takes f4. I think white's chances are to be preferred over there. Practically, I would say white is doing great. Even the move h4 can be considered. Black went ndf4, and now see qg3. This is the main difference now. Now see, knight h7 check is a major threat. So black tries to use some tactics. Even the queen is attacked. So see qc7, and now see just rf e1. Good move. It's a very dangerous move. The threat is to go see nb5. That is why white didn't go nh7. nb5 followed by rook d6. That is the idea. If bishop e6, then we can see that there is a deadly tactic. Rook e6, knight e6, and knight d5 mate on the spot. So black tried ne2 here. As I have said always, that Capablanca was master of intermezzo. And as you see, after rook e2, qg3, black was hoping to trade the queens. Indeed, he got a trade, but he didn't get the move kg5 because of knight h7. The strong intermezzo, king f7, h takes g3, it's game over. White is not only a pawn up, black king is caught up, the rook is attacked. Note that now rook h8 blunder, which loses on the spot here. There comes knight g5 check, kf6, f4. The black position was in mess already. Now see, there are two threats. One is RD6 and other ND5 checkmate on the spot. So black chose to resign over here. What an incredible game see by Capablanca. Capablanca was white here and he conducted the game like Mikhail Tal, I would say. Do let me know how you found this lesson in the comments below. Thanks for your time.